Hey everybody, Laura Fangman here with today's Mash the Button. I wanted to tell you about my experience today. Today at Margaret Brant Elementary School in Stafford County, I was able to participate in Career Day, the career cafe that Mrs. Hoover sets up so that the kids in the school can learn about different career options, and she invited me to come speak. And I have to tell you, I was just kind of terrified to go do this today because I knew my daughter would be in the class and I knew that some of her friends would be there, and I really did not want to bomb on this. So I've stressed out about it for a little while. Got to tell you, it went really, really well. It was kind of nerve-wracking at first because there are so many different parts to what realtors do. It is so much more than houses. Can we hashtag more than houses? Because we started out, I asked the kids, what do you think it is that realtors do? And every answer was showing someone a house and counting how many garages it had. And that's not wrong. And of course I told the kids that's not wrong, but there's so much more to it than that. And I had to decide what to focus on because there's so much more. I only had so much time and I didn't imagine that their interest was going to stick around. So what are the cool things? What are the things that I can point out to keep these kids interested and engaged in the conversation? The whole thing was peppered with questions, which was incredible. I really was hoping that I just wouldn't bore them to sleep. And they were completely engaged in asking questions the entire time. And it got me thinking, those kids asked better questions than some of my clients have asked, than some of your clients, if you're a realtor, have asked. If you are a consumer and you are looking to hire a realtor either to buy or sell your home, holy cow, ask questions. Please ask questions. This is an interview. This is the person who is going to be handling the purchase or sale of your largest financial instrument, to quote Lee Brown. This is important. Ask questions. Make sure you're comfortable with that person. And these kids did a stellar job. One of the very first questions I was asked was, how long had I been a realtor? By the way, there are now 35th graders, along with several front office women, who know that realtor is a two-syllable word. That was one of the first things we covered. So there's a whole new crop of people out there who can pronounce realtor. But one of the first questions was, how long have you been doing this? Wow, that's a great question, and I would be happy to answer it. We talked about that. We talked about, I had a girl ask if I could sell in other places. Well, I explained to her the areas that I cover in my market and how far my license covers, and I talked to her about my referral network. Obviously, this was very brief and in more simplified terms for the class, but what a great question to ask, because what if her family is moving to California? What can I do for them? Well, it turns out I know some great people in California. I can do a lot for them. I had a kid ask if somebody's living in the house and they don't own the house, but the people who own the house sell it, do the people living in the house get some money from that? And I thought that was a fabulous question, and it just goes to show how much these kids are paying attention to the adult conversations. And it was a great question. Unfortunately, the answer is no. The tenants don't really receive any money from the sale of the house. But it was a thoughtful question. It was a really, and you could tell he had been thinking about it before he raised his hand, and I was really glad he had asked. I had a kid ask me if just anybody can have a central lock box, because apparently his father has some property with a barn for sale in another state and had some trouble with the neighbor stealing his lockbox, and then he couldn't get into it, and there was a whole great big mess. And I had just described how the lockbox is one of our safety measures, and it keeps people's keys safe, and you can't saw it off, and you can't use a torch to get it off, and it's a safety thing. And so he was really interested in getting one of those. He was very disappointed when I told him he couldn't have one. And I actually had a kid, this was the coolest thing, I had a kid ask me, so do you want to be on TV? And I stopped. It just completely threw my train of thought. I had no idea where that question had come from. And I'm guessing he probably was referring to HGTV, which is such a force right now in our industry and with consumers. And so I said, of course I want to be on TV. Are you kidding me? Do you have a TV show? And he did not, alas, have a TV show. And I said, that's all right. I'm already internet famous. I'm on YouTube. After, I kid you not, after the presentation was done and the kids were cleaning up their stuff and lining up at the door, I had another kid come up to me and offer to build me a website, because he does that for people who are YouTube famous, a 5th grader. And he launched into things that I didn't even understand. He was talking about banners that he'd done and skins and different website-y things, because I'm going to stay in my lane. My lane is real estate, and it's a really wide lane, but it's my lane. And constructing websites is not where I go. And this fifth grader was rocking it. And I just wanted to snatch him up and take him with me to YPN or something. He was incredible. Like, that he had the confidence to come up and just pitch what he had to offer, and that he has the skill to do it. And the way that he described it was incredible. So anyway, I just looked at the time. I realized I've now been rambling about these amazing kids for over 5 minutes, and usually my videos are more like 2 minutes long. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. But anyway, the whole point of this ramble is, if you're a consumer and you're looking to hire a realtor, ask some questions. The questions I just went over may not be the questions you need to ask for your situation, but please make sure you ask questions. If you're working with a realtor already, ask your realtor your questions. If you're not working with a realtor and you have questions, give me a call. I'm happy to help. Everybody take care and have a great day.